Hello, Dr. Horton.
Hi.
Just wanted to ask you, what do you do for the Coffee Bunker?
Yeah. Well, I'm Michael Horton. I'm the executive director at the Coffee Bunker, and that just means that I oversee the operations and all the other programs and kinds of things that we do here at the bunker. It's a pretty wide range of things.
I know that the Coffee Bunker does a lot for the community. How did this all start?
Sure. It all started with a family tragedy, actually, and there was a young Marine corporal by the name of Daniel Ligon, who was raised by missionary parents in Lebanon and Egypt. When Daniel it was time for him to go to high school, his parents sent him back to Tulsa to go to high school under the care of his grandmother. Graduated high school, went into the Marines, and during that time, the U.S. was heavily involved in combat activities in and around Fallujah and that area. So he had 2 years there, and upon exiting the Marines, coming back to the U.S., his transition back to civilian life did not go well and concluded with a suicide, unfortunately. So from that event, his mom and others were convinced that they didn't want that death to be shall we say, unproductive or meaningless, and they began to get together and say what would have happened if Daniel had just had a place, somebody to talk to, those kind of things. And so out of that grew the Coffee Bunker, which started in September of 2010, and here we are almost 15 years later, continuing our efforts, shall we say, to transition out and make a tragedy become a triumph.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can say a bit about transitions.
Okay. What can the people in Tulsa do to help the Coffee Bunker?
Of course. Well, the helping the Coffee Bunker means that we have the community's eyes and hearts attentive to the needs of veterans in their struggles and challenges to return successfully to civilian life. I think it's my contention and my heartfelt belief that if we wave goodbye to our sons and daughters and wish them well as they go into the military, then we need to be fully prepared to welcome them back and do everything that we possibly can to help them transition back in to become productive citizens and productive civilians. And so for some of those, that transition might be uneventful, but for most others, it's very difficult, very fraught with challenges and obstacles and pitfalls, and we just need to be, as a community, committed in our hearts and minds and in our resources to making sure that every veteran's return home is a successful one back to civilian life.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Horton. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Okay, very good.